Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to my workshop today for Sign Protocol. Okay, my name is Claire. I'm head of product at Sign Protocol, and our head of tech couldn't make it here, so I'm the one who's hosting this workshop. But today I'm not only going to go through what Sign Protocol is and how we can develop on it. I'm also going to provide some project ideas to you guys that we are particularly interested in seeing builders build. So for those who don't know what Sign Protocol is, it is a decentralized attestation platform that allows users to create verifiable structured data on-chain. So for those who have been following us for a bit, we started off as this project called eSign, which is a product for people to sign contract on-chain. So think of it as a Web3 version of DocuSign. Two parties will sign a document and put it on chain. And later on, we think if you can sign a PDF, you can basically sign everything on chain, right? And that's the gist of the attestation. So that's also what Sign Protocol is. We want to encourage more builders to think about what different type of product you can build on Sign Protocol. And why do we want to put verifiable data on chain is the question we all hackers, I think, need to think about. So think about this. Now we are all gathering here for my workshop because you might have the purpose of develop something on Sign Protocol. Maybe you are looking to win a prize, or maybe you are just looking for a long-term project idea. And the fact that we are all here is the sort of social data, and the fact that you meet each other, tap on the chip to interact with each other. These are all sort of social interaction, social data. And we have all sort of other kind of data, like real-world assets. So for example, in my bank account, maybe I only have $100 because I have all my money on crypto, but if there's a protocol saying if you can attest that you have $100 in your bank account and you will be qualified for this NFT drop, and that's something that you can do with Sign Protocol. So to put it into three simple steps, the first one is we allow users to create something we call schema, which is the blueprint of data. Basically, you will come up with your own data structure. Let's say today, for all the participants here, we can maybe create a schema of Claire's workshop, Sign Protocol workshop, and then we can have every party's address put on chain as part of the schema. And then each one of you can make the attestation, which is the actual data written that conform to the schema data structure. And that would be the actual data that refers to the schema ID. And then I would be the attester, and the recipient would just be all of the hackers who attend here. And last step, Sign Protocol provides the SDK for projects to query these verified attestation data. So for example, now we accumulate these social data, right? We accumulate the real world asset data, and how can these be used? Different projects can maybe query the social data to make some sort of on-chain reputation system that can be linked to other type of on-chain activities. So one example that I will make here is actually from part of the past ecosystem project called Marry 3. Don't get it wrong, it's not getting married between three parties. It's Web3 version of getting married. So basically, it's an on-chain marriage certificate that in that schema, there's party 2, when and where you got married. And then people make attestation and put that on chain. So with this attestation, you can actually do a lot of cool stuff. So let's say you together want to purchase an on-chain asset. So you can maybe we will verify you guys have this marriage certificate attestation, and then link to the smart contract, hook contract, which I will get to in a bit. So there are so many cool things to do. A more serious scenario is listed here. It's called proof of funds. It's actually developed by Sign Protocol internally. Basically, we partner with Plaid, and then for all of these users who have maybe US bank account, they can attest to their real world assets. And for more serious situation like investment, maybe they want the investors to have at least $1 million in their bank account. Then you can do this by creating a schema called proof of fund. And then the Plaid account will be the attester who attests to this recipient saying that this person indeed have $1 million in his or her bank account. And that attestation can be linked to other on-chain activities such as investment on-chain or mint the NFT, etc. But this is how the basic flow works. And it's not coming soon, it's already live. Okay, here's a more complicated graph, but let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, I don't think I can do anything about it, but I assume you can still see it. So on the left part, it's the on-chain part. For Sign Protocol SDK, we provide both the Sign Protocol smart contract as well as the Sign Protocol API. So on the left side, it's all on-chain. You can basically create a schema. We are deployed on more than 10 different blockchains right now. You can explore it. I will show a demo later. And the schema creator, aka hackers, can create different type of schema based on your project type that you're working on. And then after the schema is created, different type of data attestation will come in. And this is where it can get really interesting. It's also something that Sign Protocol is actively looking for. It's the external hook contract. So basically you can customize whatever external logic that you want. One example is the one I made before, Marry 3, with the marriage certificate. Maybe if you attest that, oh, you two are indeed get married, then you can be linked to other like smart contract logics. I also want to mention another like more serious situation is the one that we did for Sign Protocol internally as well. So we also have a product called Token Table, which handles airdrop for like different projects. And based on attestation, like based on different users' on-chain reputation, we can give out tokens based off that. And that's all done with the external hook contract. And on the right side, we offer everything off-chain as well. You can do that through Sign Protocol API and then query the data through the API as well. But for this hackathon specifically, we really want to see more builders build on the left side on-chain part. Okay, now it's time for demo. Let me see. I hope the I hope the internet works. Okay, so everything is on Sign.global. After you log into Sign.global, you can see a demo button, and after you log in, you will see the app.sign.global. Let me zoom in a little bit. And you can see all of the schema already created on Sign Protocol. This is the eSign product I talked to you all about. So this is for like contract signing. If you click into one of these, feel free to explore out of the schema and how they are created. For this one, for eSign completed contract, you can see how the data was structured. So we have the contract ID. We have the contract CID, so for the eSign product, all of the contract signed are stored on Arweave, and then we put the CRD on chain. And the contracts are encrypted on Arweave. And then we have the string of signer's address and a string of sender's address, which is the one who initiated the contract. The reason we separate these is sometimes maybe like the operational guy prepared a contract, and the signers will be separate from that. And then we have this signing event timestamp. This is like one basic example of how the schema is created. And we also have this product called Sign Scan, where you can click on this, and basically it's Explorer of all the attestation. Think of ETHScan as Explorer of all the transaction. This is Explorer for the data. And yeah, this is the cool landing page that we have. Click on Try Beta and try to create a schema yourself if you don't want to like get into the heavy coding. For example, today I'm going to create one. Let me connect to my wallet first. Okay. Let's say workshop 3. And the schema description will be all cool hackers who attended the workshop. And then these are all of the chains that we support. I'm going to do a testnet. Look, we support Bearer Chain testnet as well. And now here we also offer 2 different data location. First one is metadata location. You can put the metadata location on chain, and you can also choose to put the actual like attestation data on Arweave or IPFS to save cost for each of the data. But now I'm going to put everything on Sepolia. And then here's how you can create a schema data. For example, I can do cool hackers name, and then this will be the string, and then maybe the address as well. Maybe I can airdrop some NFT to all of the cool hackers who attended a workshop today. And last part is where you can hook the smart contract logic to it. Maybe like if you have the attestation record, then you can be whitelisted and then do some other on-chain activities later. But this is how you can play around with it. But we also have this feature called revocable. So think about the marriage example. So if you no longer want to get married, you can always make the attestation revocable and revoke later. Okay. And after like all of the hackers create a schema, you can actually see the schemas you created here. We keep profile of all the hackers who have actively been building. We are sponsoring multiple hackathons now. I know some of you guys attended ETH Online who probably have created schema before. We will have the hackers profile here as well. Okay, so that's, oh, I also want to show a cool thing. So this is the science scan page, and let me click into this. So I mentioned that we also have a product called Token Table, which handles airdrop for different projects. And I don't know if you all saw Vitalik's post about like attestation gated airdrop. This is one example of that. So how it's done is we put all of for some of the airdrop claimers, if they have, let's say, more than $500 to claim, KYC is required. And how we do it is we partner with the KYC partner called SumSub. And then after the KYC record is passed, we just put a record on chain and then later on link to the airdrop smart contract. So whenever that person passed the airdrop, passed the KYC, that person is eligible to claim. And this is the KYC schema that we created for Zeta. All right, let's get back to the presentation. And since my background is more in product, and I also will be looking at all of your projects later, I want to like put something out there that I have been thinking about Sign Protocol in general, like on the product sense a little. So when we think about attestation, I can say, okay, I'm creating a schema called number of burgers I can consume in under 1 hour. And then I will be the attester. Let's say Claire say she can have 100 burgers in under an hour. And I put that attestation on chain. Would you believe that? Yeah? Thank you. But you believing me probably is based on some observation of myself, or like if you know me, you probably know I can indeed have 100 burger under 1 hour, but that's all based on maybe like off-chain data source that you have of me, right? But in this case, I will be the tester, I will be the recipient of this attestation. But let's say if a burger shop says, okay, the Claire indeed can have 100 burgers in an hour, then that attester will be the reputable party who have the authority, maybe in the burger world, that people would believe that person, believe the attester that Claire can consume this much burger. And comparing the burger shop to myself, probably you would believe the burger shop more because that seems like a third-party authority. But maybe I am the cousin of the burger shop owner and I just want to like win some sort of contest that maybe this attestation doesn't mean anything as well. So when we are building a schema, we can think about who will be the attester. So one example is the one I talked before for the Plaid, when you are attesting your off-chain asset that you own, right? We partner with Plaid because that's like a reputable party. But when we are choosing like which schema to build. Originally, we were actually, Sign Protocol were actually the attester of these attestation. And then we brought into question of like legal compliance, saying, oh, how can you prove that this much money is actually owned by it? And that's why we onboarded Plaid into Web3 for them to be the attester. And then here's another way of thinking about it. So let's say I can have 100 burger in under an hour, and then all my friends are saying the same thing except for Karen, who hates me and say I cannot have 100 burger. And in this case, think of it as more like a social scenario of creating a schema. So we can have different attesters. So in this case, after I create a schema, the attester wouldn't be one centralized organization or one centralized address, but will be each individual attesters. So let's think about if any of you guys are making like a social gaming project, then this could work. Like we are really looking forward to some experiment around the concept of attestation itself. Okay, this is one other scenario. So after Claire says I can have 100 burger in under an hour, and the burger shop says so, and then there's a best friend who come here and attest to both me and the burger shop with a photo of me visiting the burger shop, eating the actual burger, then that's some proof-carrying data that can be considered as a very strong proof that I can indeed have 100 burger based on like how I'm behaving in that photo. But like all of these will be contributing to how we can use these attestation, and afterwards maybe like collectively with these individual attestation can link to one smart contract logic that can together put together a on-chain reputation of my burger consuming power that can be linked to other on-chain activities. Okay, so back to the serious business. So this is one example I talked repeatedly. This is for KYC, but recently, since the token table is handling more airdrop, there are projects who are asking for anti-Sybil attack, which is one partner that we have was actually WorldCoin, so we can have proof of humanity probably, and then feed the attestation onto the signed protocol, and after that person prove that he or she is indeed human, they can maybe claim something from maybe claim the token, claim the NFT, or other cool stuff that you can do on chain. Okay, this is the example that I talked to you about Plaid. This is called proof of fund. So how it works is people use the Plaid API to connect to their off-chain wallet, off-chain assets, and the Plaid will create the report of that snapshot, and then that attestation will be put on signed protocol, and later on it can be used for other type of stuff like on-chain, let's say borrowing or investment, all that. And lastly, we are exploring ZK proof as well. So that's something that we encourage the hackers to explore as well. So for this example is something that Sign Protocol itself is exploring. It's a Sierra Leone permanent residency. So for those who don't know, we recently launched an NFT called Sign Pass, which after you hold a Sign Pass, you will be eligible to apply for the actual residency in Sierra Leone. And then that data, they are also experimenting the tech of attestation, and that data will be using ZK proof to still remain some privacy and be put on chain. So I don't know if any of you have same pass. It works that way, but in the web with the Web3 technology, and afterwards with the Sierra Leone permanent residency record, you can go past any KYC requirement of like any projects. But yeah, I think that's, oh shoot, I only took 60 minutes. But I think that's all I want to cover. And I have some links. Oh, let me actually show you this. So for all of the hackers, you can go to our docs. Our developer created this, I think, freshly for this hackathon. Go to ETHGlobal. We will have all of the information there. We are looking for creativity. We are looking for creative projects. I also want to mention that from the past hackathons, we had so many certification type of projects that we probably wouldn't be like that interested in for this hackathon. So think about it, think outside of the box, and I think we are looking for some creative use case of the Hook smart contract. But yeah, that's basically it for the workshop. Do we have any question? Yeah.
How is it different from the Oracle, like P or
I think that's still like very so for Sign Protocol, it's you can maybe use ZK Pass where you can use some type of like MPC TLS to prove like any off-chain data. Our goal is to bring more data on chain and then use that data for like different stuff. I think that the purpose is different. Any other question?
And for the hackathon, we just build a dummy attester to return true,
That's an easy way to do it, but oh yeah. So question was for the hackathon, do we just use the dummy attester to turn true? That's like why I mentioned the attester, like the burger scenario. So we want the hackers to think carefully about like who will be the attester, what makes sense to be the attester. So we would really encourage hacker. I think somebody told me that he was building like on-chain basically reputation system. So in that case, maybe like some reputable party will be more suited as the attester. Yep. Any other question?
When I try to deploy, I need some faucet, so
Which chain are you using? Which chain are you using?
Gnosis chain.
Oh, I think you can just go to Gnosis chain faucet and get some test token.
Which chain do you choose when you
Which chain did I choose when I think I used the Ethereum Sepolia.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Can we do multiple on-chain attestation in single transaction?
Multiple on-chain. I think multiple attestation. Yes, I think so. I'll give you more context later after the call. And not the call, after the workshop. Sorry about it. Any other question?
Yeah, so basically if you get the plate data where it's basically a proof of fund, you get off-chain data on the chain. So I think this kind of relates to the Oracle question from earlier.
Yeah.
So basically you do function as kind of an Oracle app, right?
Yeah, so we want to position ourselves as like more of the application building like party. So we think about the use case first. And then like for the proof of fund, the context is we got contacted by some projects who want to like try to get the RWA narrative going and try to get proof of concept of like bringing all these off-chain data on-chain. That's why we decided to like work with Plaid for that. But our purpose is to bring more data on-chain and not necessarily only like in that direction. Yeah.
How does the burger shop attest that you or hundreds of other people, what's the mechanism by which it takes its offline knowledge and puts it on chain?
Yeah, so you need to onboard the burger shop owner for them to be the tester in that case. So like that person will need to initiate the transaction, put the attestation on chain.
So would he like log in every day and say, yes, she eats 100 burgers, no, he does not, like type thing? He has a
Does he log in every day? Yes and no. So for example, if that person is hosting a burger contest, and then maybe a schema will be created, and the burger owner will be writing the attestation data, but maybe like not for every day.
But like, I mean, if he does it manually, would be the point. We'd have to like go through and verify each attestation.
Yeah.
Can you please go through the scenario where someone tries to prove a certain amount of money in the bank?
Oh yeah. I think I don't know. If it's,
Becomes the attester?
yes, actually. So we onboarded the Plaid opened the API for us, which was a very hard process already. And then we tried to onboard them by asking them to. Oh, actually, I can show this. By asking them to connect their identity directly on Sign Protocol. So they can make attestation by connecting to the Plaid official email, and then they will be the ones who make the attestation. So it's coming from the Plaid.
A plat is like a
Yeah, it's it partnered with the bank, but it was the majorly used in the United States.
Can you give me the hook example in the burger shop? Does it appear, the hook concept of the hook, does it appear in the burger shop example?
Yeah, the burger shop is just an example, but let me show you one similar thing that we did before. This one, 2024 Bitcoin halving event, which was like a raffle campaign that we did. So for this one, we asked users to guess after Bitcoin halving what the price will be. And then they would like input different attestation, their predicted price here. And afterwards, we will choose the closest ones and give them prices. Is one scenario. But why were you asking specifically about the burger shop example?
I mean, the hook, where does the hook trigger? Because hook sounds like it's somewhere in the life cycle. So I want to know when is the hook trigger. So for this one, the hook is triggered after the
The event is done, like the halving event is done.
I still have a question. For people that are interested in the attestation, how do they read them? Like, if I want to know if you eat, how do I get that information? What's the interface?
Oh yeah, so we have all of the query ready in our Sign Protocol SDK where you can like, pull the data to check if there's attestation on chain. The reason I use the burger example is like what is counted as the trustable source. Like it can be the burger shop owner, or it can be like all of these social peers who said, oh, he or she indeed did that. That's why hackers need to think about how to structure the schema. But yeah, we have all of the query stuff ready for the hackers. Yeah. Yes.
Is there any incentive for the attester, and how do we make sure that they survive?
Yeah, that's exactly the point. You need to choose the right attesters. So at the beginning, like when we were hosting this event, we were the attester, right? But if, like for example, for the Plaid scenario, we wouldn't be trustable party anymore. Plaid would be. And then that's exactly why we, for social scenario, let's say, it would be the amount of attestation that this one person received. So that's why we also have this sign profile, allowing users to connect to their different social identity if they want. It's also connected to your ENS. I'm using my brother's name, but it also connects to your ENS, which will be linked maybe to other on-chain activities. But choosing the attester is part of like when creating a schema you need to think about. Good. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'll be around at our booth with Megan, our lead marketing. But anyways, if you have any question, feel free to reach out. Our tech support is also available on Discord. So if you have anything very technical, you can ask them as well. But thank you.